Hey everybody, welcome back to Workers and Resources. I hope you're having a great day today because we're gonna finally get. I hope by the end of this video we have steel up and running and ready to rock. I just wanted to give you a brief little update. I am working on, as you can see, the little canal we're gonna have here by the lake that takes them into the river and gives them access to the world at large, at least later. So I'm working on that right now. We have a couple of different things here that we need to take care of. First, apparently, is electricity to this. Oh, you know what? I bet I didn't reconnect this, did I? Yep, right there. It's not connected. This isn't connected. So we'll start things off, I guess, by doing this. There we go. Yeah. All right. Welcome back to our wonderful republic. I hope you're having a great day. We have 11% unemployment and nearly 17,000 people, and that is pretty close to the population we're going to have for at least a little while longer. And that's because that is the capability of our food network at the moment. We want to make sure that we don't grow too fast. All right. The thing that you can do when you're at like 8 million in the bank and growing rapidly, the thing that tends to happen is that you grow too quickly. And then what you'll do is you'll find death spirals all over the place because you just don't have the food capacity to handle it. And once you start having people die at mass, well, then you start having labor problems everywhere. It's a big mess. You don't want that. So I like the slow and steady growth approach. And that's kind of what we've been doing, constantly growing the entire time in a very controlled manner. That's going to slow down a little bit here, at least until we get steel operational. So let's take a look at that real quick. And then we're going to talk about the new city we're going to have, which has now been renamed. I'll just show it now. Has been renamed Zarnoski. Zarnoski. This is a name that was recommended to me in the comments. I did say if you had names for cities and stuff that you could, recommend them, and we might start adopting them a little bit. So Krasna is now Zarnoski, and this is Zarnoski Farms. Okay, so we're gonna have that happening too. I'm also thinking about laying in some new fields out this way too. We've got this space right here that could totally handle more fields, so I'm thinking about laying those in too. But let's focus on the things that matter, which right now I think is getting steel going. So at the moment we have the ability to work steel, just not efficiently, right? So for example, I can turn this on. We actually just got power done. Very cool. Okay, so I can now turn labor on in this building. So let's say I want like 50 people to work here, all right, in the iron mine. That'll happen. And then in iron processing, we can go ahead and say that we are good with, let's say, 20 people working here. Or 15, I guess, because 15 is the max. So we don't need 15 in here. Let's do 7 for now. We'll do it at half capacity, all right? Both these buildings, we'll do it like around somewhere in the vicinity of half capacity. And then steel, let's turn like, say, 50 people on in here too. Now, there apparently is crime in the steel yard, even though there's nobody working here. So I wasn't sure this was the case, but apparently construction sites can have crime, and I wasn't aware of that. So if I look at this and I take a look at crime patrols not reported, see there's 4 crimes here that weren't patrolled. Now I want to say this is because I briefly had this turned on for labor. When this building completed, it was, max 500 workers allowed, and the people on the train were coming in here and doing nothing. So I want to say that these crimes are post-build. I don't believe construction sites can have crimes reported, but at least that was my belief. So I think this building, because it completed and I didn't catch it right away, it had 4 crimes because there was like 400 people in here. So that's hopefully not a thing anymore. We'll see. So we have 100 people maxed out in here, and you can see the iron ore is pumping through here. Very nice. All right, and the building is without drinking water, so it is going to have a reduced efficiency. It's going to be reduced in its production. Not completely gone, right? It'll still have some, but it's going to be reduced. We have the coal storage up and running too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to our train distribution office. We're going to add this as a source, and we're going to tell this to unload coal, and we're going to keep it like 10%. Let's do 20%. So in doing that, we should now see the construction office has created a train. It's already done, has created a train, which is capable of taking 360 tons of coal It will create a route like it just did, and it will come on over here, pick up the coal, and bring it over to this area. And that is how we are going to get steel going initially. However, if we want this to be sustainable, we want this to be a good place for everybody. First off, we need to get this done, because this is a walking path that is going to let them get there. I've decided I'm going to go asphalt with this, and so at the moment they really can't even get here. I think that might be a mistake to do right now, but maybe I can go around this. No, I can't. Yeah, maybe I could have gone around it, but I'm just gonna leave it the way it is for now. We're gonna let this be. All right. The next thing I did is I'm gonna redo where this storage is located. I needed to adjust it a little bit because it wasn't really lined up the way it needed to be. Thankfully, they only built this part here, and so deconstructing this was fairly straightforward. They didn't deliver any resources here, so I was able to sort of reposition this a little bit. And in so doing, with repositioning that, oh, hello, you guys are finally getting on this road. That's nice. In so doing, repositioning that, I should now be able to get this in here. And what I'm hoping is that it can be positioned in such a way. It says infrastructure is in the way, which is no good. No bueno. Right here. Okay. What I'm hoping is we see that this is possible to connect like this. There we go. And like this. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to have to go just a little bit further over then. But there is a place here, I'm certain of it, where this will work. And I'm only certain of it because I've seen it done already. So I know it will work at some point, right? Let's try here. We'll start with this side first. There we go. There and there. All right, that is helicopter cargo, which is going to give the helicopters access to steel. So our helicopter construction office can finally have that. Now, we're going to have several different helicopter construction offices. And another one can be located over here, but there's really not a whole lot of point to that. It's very condensed in here, right? This is mostly for vehicles. And so what we'll do is we're going to have a helicopter construction office located right over here. And they'll have like 2 helicopters on this. No big deal. And the only thing this will do is deliver steel. So it lifts off, grabs the steel, and goes and brings it wherever it needs to go. Okay? And a lot of our construction is going to take place over here, right? We're going to have a city over here. We're going to have a lot of stuff happening over here. There's going to be ships and shipping lanes and ship scrapping and building ships, etc. So lots of stuff going on over here. So there's plenty of opportunities for a helicopter construction office to bring resources over here. But I want the offices to be located fairly close to... Why are you stopping? Is it track builders? No. No, it is not. Okay, that's a very weird stop. I have no idea why he's stopping. Okay, continue, please. Thank you. Deliver the coal. Yeah, so once this walking path is complete, we'll be good to go. And I don't know if it's going to take like forever to do, so I'm going to go ahead and get Charlabinska's road construction crew to come out here and do this too, so that I can get this stuff happening quicker. Okay, so here is the next bit of this, okay? We need to have water access out here. And right now it says operating without issues, which means this has water, but it shouldn't have water, so that must mean a water truck has brought it here. Very, very temporarily has brought it here, right? So we might have had a water truck bring this, but ultimately this does not have any waste, right? And any waste collection or anything like that is done over here. So we have to get going with those types of things too. So we're going to start with water because it's already something that's started. We have the well here, which can have workers, 7 workers from the bus stop or from the train stop. This pipe is getting built all the way over to our industrial yard treating center. This is now called the Krasna Industrial Yard, by the way. And then what we're going to do here is we need to get a pump. Now, I don't really need a big pump here. I think the small pumping station would be acceptable. It's mostly about how many connections I want coming off of this, and I might want several different connections to come off of this. But a single pump into this would be okay with me. And I don't want it to get in the way. So different connections. It looks like there's already one popped in here, but this isn't going to work, right? This isn't going to work because this does not create water pressure. It doesn't pump. This doesn't create any pull forces. This doesn't create any push forces. So there's no water travel here. I need to delete this. Unfortunately, that means they're going to have to come out and bring the demolitions offices out here. I didn't want that to happen, but that's the way it's going to have to be. So bring the demolition office out here again. What we need to do instead with this is we're going to create a small pumping station. I was really hoping to get it next to this, but it doesn't look like it'll fit. It needs to go like right here. I wonder if I can get... Yeah, it's so close. I think maybe this walking path could be adjusted to allow this. Is this done? This is done. Cool. So I might be able to pull this walking path over just a little bit more and then fit it in here. I really want it to be nestled in here because I have something else I want to put in this space. And I don't know if I can fit it if I don't do that otherwise. So can I get you to be... Yeah, right here is good. All right, so right there... Connecting is fine. We're going to say a big pipe connects this out from here. Hey, we could have done this one, but I think I can redirect this one somewhere else. So this out is going to come around and stick into there. And then this out is going to come around. I wanted to go straight underneath it, which I think it can do. Yep. And then it's going to go around and stick into this side. So we should be able to get it in like that. All right. That's how we're going to take care of water into the water tower. Now, from there, we need 2 water substations. We're going to need one that can reach the coal mine up there. So I'm going to have to put this one out probably... this should be acceptable. Right about here should be fine. Put it there. And then another one is going to be over here because it's going to have to provide water to all this stuff. So we're going to want to take and maybe make this like way over here would be better, I think, actually. Right about here. We're going to go about like this. Okay. Then we'll take the little walking paths, stick them in there. Little walking path, stick it in there. There we go. And that's going to provide water as long as we can bring this over. Now, the debate continues on water switches, on whether or not it passes pressure. I still don't believe it does. But you know what? We're going to test it out here. Okay. And the only reason I don't believe it does is because I've tested it. I got 1,000 hours in this game. I don't know if things have changed. Maybe my conditions just weren't right. Also, an important thing to note, I suppose, is that this is going uphill. So, I mean, that might play a role into it too. And, you know, for the sake of not wanting to rebuild it, I would totally say, hey, let's just, you know, put in a switch and find out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a switch in right here, and we're going to find out whether or not this actually works or not. So we're going to put a switch. And it's going to go in right about like this. Should be fine. We want this to be a simple dirt path. There we go. Zarnoski Kindergarten. That's got fire coverage. We're fine. Okay, so yeah, they're building this. That'll take a bit. And then the water tower is now done. Perfect. Okay. We have people working steel yet? No, it's still this. This still has to be done. How am I going to get them to work on this? Most of the stuff has been delivered already, and I've got road crews being told that this is a high priority. So can we get all related vehicles? Are you guys on your way? You are on your way. Okay, good. All right, so eventually they'll be here to take care of that, and then we'll start having people in steel. In the meantime, though, we're collecting the iron, collecting the coal, etc. And so as soon as we get this path done, we will have our own produced steel, and it will currently go here. Yep, which is going to be for steel. All right. And we're going to say 100% steel. Here we go. You just go like this. 100% steel. Okay. Now, I was talking about earlier the new road cargo depot, right? I was saying earlier, like there's a different kind of road cargo station. I just don't know where it is. Okay. I still don't know where it is. I can't find it. I've looked forever. I still can't find the damn thing, but I know it existed because it's right here. I used it right here. There's an in on this side and this side, and then there's 2 connections instead of 4. This is the other one, and I don't know where it went, but we have at least one of them, I guess. Okay, so pipes need to come out of this. So we talked about how it's a switch and switches pass pressure through, supposedly. So we'll take a large pipe out of this, and we're going to pop that large pipe right there into that in for the switch. All right, we're going to use natural gravity here to make pressure. And, you know, the top of this water is higher than that, so it should have pressure to bring it up there, right? That's what they say. We're going to say that we want I think a medium pipe out of this would be fine. We'll bring a medium pipe all the way over and stick it into that side. There we go. And then a medium pipe out of this one too. We can bring it underneath. That'd be fine. Maybe we leave that one open. Yeah, let's leave that one open. We're going to go around this way instead. All right, so 2 medium pipes coming out of there. And that should provide us with a lot of water for all the workers that will be over here, right? This one is going to be able to serve water to the steel, and then this one takes care of all these buildings up here, and then this one takes care of all these buildings over here. And if I need another one, I'll pop it over here somewhere, and then that out can go to that one too. So that's a tentative plan for steel. And as soon as they get it done, they're working on it. We should have our own produced steel. Great, cool. Okay. Next up, we'll let them work on that for now. Next up, I want to look. First, I want to look at where my track builders are, because they are taking their sweet time doing things. And is it signaling or lack of signaling here? I don't think I have any signals in here. I don't. So basically, if you're building this track, yep, building that track means you can't progress through here. Well, I mean, I could lay the signals in right now, but that's just going to mess up their current work. So since I've already told them to ignore it, we're going to let it go. And then they'll probably clash with each other, and I'll have to babysit them later. Okay. Let's head over to Zarnoski. I've said it a few times already, sometimes snarkily and maybe a little bit rudely, and I apologize for that if you took offense to it. I have kind of a sarcastic personality sometimes. If you knew me in person, they'd be like, oh yeah, he's just being a dick. Don't worry about him. There is a town planned near the farm. Okay, I will say it for like the 8th time. There is a town planned here near the farm, and what it is going to provide for us is labor for uranium, labor for meat, and also it's going to provide us with both fire coverage and the ability to repair vehicles near the farms. Okay, so we're gonna have 2 repair yards right over here, and those 2 repair yards are going to have many vehicles, and they are going to go out to the farms and repair vehicles. Okay, repair vehicles at distribution offices, etc. We're not going to place these things are very spread out. All of these vehicles are very spread out. There isn't really a way for us to like place a vehicle repair center in range of some of these buildings and just like easily have labor for them all the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to line up maybe 2 or 3 repair centers, and we're just going to have them with all those vehicles and the workers go out and repair all these vehicles. Okay. Now, in order to have a town over here, we need a couple of things. We need a way for the town to provide for its people, and that means we need a supply chain. So there's going to be a rail over here. If you didn't tell by this, there's going to be a rail over here, and we're finally going to start seeing what this is supposed to look like. Okay, so first off, we're going to place 2 rails next to each other right next to this. This already has a road connection here, so in the event of a fire, we do have some way to get in here, although I would really like to upgrade this road. Or at least many of these roads. I'd like to upgrade them. Looks like we also have, that's a bus stop. I thought we had like snow on this. There was snow on the rail over here, I thought I saw a bunch of snow over top of the rail over here. I might have fixed it already. It was a while ago when I saw it. I think I fixed it, or maybe loading the save fixed it. We had like a whole section of the track that was just covered in snow. All right. What I want for this is kind of a small town feel. Okay, we have a big urban environment here. A big urban environment's going to be over here. A really big urban environment over here, and even Zarnoski has fairly dense population. Right, there's many building. This looks like it's a city, right? Instead of a town, it's a city kind of thing. Got that feeling to it anyway for me. It's because all the buildings are really high. What I'd like to do with Zarnoski is make it a small town. All right, this means less density, more spread out people, maybe more comfortable housing in the sense that there's less people around you, okay? And it does mean that Zarnoski is going to rely quite a considerable amount on cars, because like rural environments don't work as well with public transportation. You need personal vehicles for stuff like that. So we're going to look at having Zarnoski be a small town feel, wrapping around the lake. There's probably going to be about 1,000 people here. If I had to guess, I'd say about 1,000 people, maybe more. We'll see. We'll have like a small town kind of builds its way up over here. It kind of wraps around. There's going to be a little bit taller buildings in here, but not really. It's sort of like on a main street sort of thing, right? I'm going to kind of emulate the design of my hometown, although it's nowhere near good. It's not actually going to be able to happen that way, but I'm going to try it out. That means no roundabouts, honestly. If I'm going to do that, that means there's no roundabouts. And then all the way over in here, there could be some houses over here too. So this will be all occupied as a city, but it's not going to be your typical dense city that I've been building before, okay? It's more of a small town feel. And that means we're using residential areas that are small residential buildings. And I'm thinking probably a lot of these. These are 12 workers only at 93% quality flats. I could also use a few of these other ones. So we have like this one here that's 88%. Kind of like this. We're going to mix and match these just because I like the look of mix and match buildings, right? We don't want everything to look the same, which is what it looks like over there. So everything's going to look a little bit different here. And I think it'll look cool. It's not going to be efficient at all. Nope. But I think it'll look cool. So to start this off, we need to figure out where the city center is. Where is Main Street in this sense? And we have there's an intersection right here that's going to be worked, and then there's this big roundabout here, and then there's also a roundabout here. And this roundabout is very important, right? It comes in here, and you might think like, why did he make a roundabout in the center of this thing? Like, what's going on with there? That's because this is going to be very important. It's going to allow people to get in here and go to work from the city center. So the city center is going to be kind of around here. Knowing that, I'm thinking probably we're going to want to have a supermarket, and I am going to use the O'Keene supermarket this time. It's smaller than the big one, right? About a little more than half the capacity of people, and half capacity of workers too. But it takes a lot less steel to build, a lot less resources that way to build. And even though it has lower capacity, this is a small town. We don't need to have such a big capacity. It still only has one factory connection. And so what I have to do is figure out where this rail's coming in. I'm thinking it's probably going to be about here. So we're going to say this the city center for this area here. Probably could have named this place O'Keene. Anyway, Zarnoski could be right about, I think, here is probably where this is going to be. Okay. So if that's here, then we need to set up the setup, I guess. The setup for this. We're going to have a small warehouse next to it. And we could probably have the road going in the back, but remember, this is off the train depot, not off of the supermarket directly. So we're dealing with forklifts here. I'm thinking maybe I slap it right on the side of the building. It could look kind of cool. Slap it right on the side of the building like this. How about like right here? Oh, I see. You're stretching all the... okay. Let's bring that back then. And tell you what, we'll go with this warehouse. We could flip it over. That way, the side of the building is actually where I can see it. Yeah, about like this. We can go about like that. I like it. Warehouse is right off the side of the building. Cool. Next, we want the meat storage. Now, meat storage is a little more difficult to place because I don't exactly know where the train depot and stuff is, but I think if I position it like this, it should be okay. And maybe I can flip it. Ooh, no, I can't. Yeah, I can't flip it that way. So it's going to have to stay like this. So since it has to be like this anyway, why don't we give it a little more room? Maybe go about like that. So meat storage is about there. That'll work. Just see if it works right up against the building. I got to know. Does it work right up against the building? I go about like this with it. Doesn't quite match up, and I would actually kind of like it to match up. I don't know why I want it this way, but I just do. You know what? I think it's good enough. If it's not, we can just paint it, right? I haven't done much painting. I think a lot of creators, they paint areas and stuff. I haven't done much of that yet, so, you know, maybe some of the areas that are totally finalized already, you'll look at that. And then my touristy area, Charlemagne's North is going to have a lot of tourism. So I'm thinking that'll probably be where I do a lot more painting and stuff too, but we'll see. All right, so these two buildings are going to go with the O'Keene supermarket, and that means I need my train depot to be here too. So we're going to say train. We'll let the time run because we can. So the train is going to be right about, I want to say it comes, like I need it to be fairly close. Probably here would be okay. As long as it connects to meat directly. So right about, I need it to be on the other meat connection, right? Come on, you had it right there. All right, let's pull this back. Here we go. And then I want this factory connection. What we're going to do here, we're going to do something like this, okay? I need you. Oh, that is going to screw things up, isn't it? Yeah. This would have worked really cool, but I think because the train needs to be directly connected to the warehouse, it means I don't have any way for the forklifts to get in here anymore. So I do need to pull this back. Yeah, so I will need to go a little bit further away with this. I forgot about that. Okay, so it'll have to be something closer to like this. And I probably can't even have it right up against it anymore. So that would have looked really nice. Oh man, that's a shame. All right, we're gonna go about like this then. Okay, I needed to do a little bit of creative positioning here, but I did manage to get it what I needed. And it looks like the helicopters are already coming over to deliver to the Yokine supermarket here. So the excavators have already started this. So we end up with the meat storage here, right up alongside the building. And factory connections come into here. Forklift garage is going to be on this side. And it'll end up having a road that comes across this to connect with that. And then this road will go straight across like this, cross over top of the train track. We might go a little bit further out with that one. So maybe it'll end up being more like here, just to give the train a little bit more room. But these will end up connecting over here. And this also gives me room to put monuments or any type of decorations that I might have that I want to do. I'll have this connect there. And then the train will end up connecting on this side with this road. But it'll also probably have another road that comes through here too. And then on this side of this small town, we have this straight road. Of course, this comes in right alongside here. Yeah, I mean, we could give more room for the train, right? Just a little bit. About like this. And then we could have it wrap around like this, I suppose, for now. So this gives us, you know, road connections and everything that we need in order to build all this stuff for the supermarket, okay? So next thing is, now that we have kind of an idea of where the roads are going to be here and where the supermarket's going to be stored or going to be located, now we can get into like, I guess the fun part of this, which is trying to figure out where all the houses will be. Actually, first, let's do the train track. Yeah, because the train track is not going to be quite as flexible as where the houses are going to be. So over here on this side, I laid this in, right? Here's what I want to do. This train track is going to come straight this way. And you might notice that we've got this road that kind of zigzags. And it kind of zigzags in a somewhat weird way, maybe. It's been plowed, so you can see it very easily. So what we're going to want to do is it bends this way because it's a guide. It's a guide for this to come right alongside this road, okay? And what we're going to see with this is this road, or this railroad, is going to wrap around like so and end up coming in over here and connecting in a straight line right next to this, okay? Somewhat straight line. I'm okay if it's like this. Then from here, we're going to have you merge onto this track here. So this is a track that takes them around and goes that way. And this is how we're going to hook up meat to the global network. Our global rail network is going to have access to meat by this. On this side, it's actually a little easier. We're going to have it round around this way, but check which building this is. That's a power transformer there. You know what? That's fine. We have redundancy on all of that stuff. So we're going to have, well, all the stuff that matters anyway. I don't know if all of it has redundancy, but all the stuff that matters does. Apparently some of it does not. That's okay. We're going to have you curve this way and head in a straight line, actually right directly into that rail. So you're going to come around a little tight. We can actually just do it straight from this. Yeah. So let's get rid of that little marker, and this is going to come straight this direction like that, and it's going to wrap around to this. That gives us our connection points to getting meat hooked up to the global rail network. All right. And then also same thing here. It comes out straight here. Comes out straight here. Okay. And now we have an idea of where that rail is going to be. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to take a tunnel underneath the meat and bring it up on this side. Okay. So it's going to come around probably a little bit of a curve here. Kind of natural curve would be fine. Right about like, say, this. All right. And right about there, we can then dip this low. 1, 2, 3. Actually, it needs to go down 4 levels, I'm pretty sure. So we'll go down level 4. We'll go about like that. Make sure you go all the way like that. And then from level 4, it should allow me to go straight now at 12 meters depth to about here. All right, so let's also do that here. Keep them right together. Hopefully. Here we go. And then from here, we need to lift up. And the hope is we can get it right after this road. Bang, right there. Right there. All right. That's our tunnel. I think it's going to look pretty good. All right. Now we're coming out right here. One, because we don't really need the tunnel to be very long. But the other reason we're coming up right here is because we're also going to have another 4-way intersection for the trains right here. Because we want to be able to ship things like meat to the border. And you might notice the way this rail is designed, we don't actually have a way to go from this train station easily and efficiently to the borders over here. What we're going to do actually is if you're shipping meat, you're going to end up coming this way and going to the border on this side. It's a shorter path. We have less rail to build, and it also hooks up to a rail connection that we're going to have on that side that allows us to work with uranium and to ship out the UF6 and anything else that we want to do via train later. So that means we need an intersection on this rail, which is part of the global network, and we also need an intersection developed here. So to get that, I think it's probably best to just get in here first. So we're going to see where this rail needs to go in order to connect to here. And it's a pretty gentle curve, right? I don't think it really matters, but have like a fairly gentle curve like that. And do the same thing with this one. Just bring it in like so, okay? Go ahead and clear out these little dots here. All the little dots need to be cleared, because if you can clear them, then that verifies that this is all one connection. Because sometimes you can lay in track and it actually isn't connected. You got almost there, but you didn't actually connect the two together. If you've played this game long enough, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you actually did not connect the two rails together. But by removing the nodes and verifying that you can remove the nodes, you confirm that you actually have it connected. Now, for this connection point here, the station itself is 155 meters. So I don't actually have to measure this, like how far out this way. I don't actually have to do that. The station itself is 155 meters-ish, all right? It's pretty close. And so what we want to do here on this side is we're going to want to leave a little bit of room for a signal right there and there. Right. Almost. Right there and there. And actually, these should be mixed with the chains facing this direction. There we go. Then we're going to, right after that, we're going to go ahead and make a crossing. Like this. Okay. There we go. And same thing here. Right after this, we'll make a crossing. Short as we can. There we go. And there we go. And then we put the signals on this side as well. So this one is coming in from this direction. Okay. And this one is leaving in that direction. And same thing on this side. We leave in that direction. And we are chained in from this side. Now, at the moment, we probably should just do mixed signals because the track builders actually have to build it, right? So for now, this is all two ways. But it's the same idea as we did over here. It's going to allow trains to come in from both directions and use both of the rails at the same time while also not getting in each other's way. And then, of course, we have the bypass track. For the bypass track, we're going to actually connect right here as if it's part of the same intersection. But I'm going to let them build this entire thing first so we can start using it. And then once they're done with this, then we'll bring in the bypass track. But essentially, this is going to come in real hot, really heavy. Probably move these signals back a little bit. This is going to come in right here. And this is going to come in right here. So these signals will just move back. But that allows us to get trains that want to go this direction but not stop at meat, right? Okay. So with this all hooked up, the last thing I do want to do is to have a turnaround over here too. I need to have that too. So we're going to say we do want to measure this because the station's not quite so long. So right here out to 126. So if it is a max length train, it will cross through traffic here. We could move that road back so that that doesn't happen. I think that's a good idea. Let's cancel this road for now. And then for this, what we can do is we'll just have this road hook up like this instead. That's a pretty straightforward way of dealing with that. So we don't need this road to be so close together. So this is 153. So for this road, we probably want it to be right about through here, I think, is a good place for this road. And we can put it out like, well, I don't know exactly what lines up with this other road, but this is pretty close anyway, right? So do something like this, right? Good enough, I think. It's fine. I don't care. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Let's just do a straight road, all right? Everything is completely straight here. Done. I don't want it to curve. All right. So with that out of the way, I guess we could probably do it with this side too. Wouldn't be such a hard thing to do it with this side too, but this is all dirt for now. We're not probably going to use this much, so we'll leave it as it is. And we'll go ahead and mark this rail as something to build as soon as we lay in the signals. So from the measurement that we had earlier, 155, right? We're going to want to have a crossing. And I don't know if we can actually do the crossing while the road is here. That might be something to look into here. It does let me do it. Perfect. So we're going to say crossing there and crossing there. Okay. And then we want the same thing we did before. Chain signal here. Let's do mixed for now, though. So mixed there and there. And there and there. It should give sufficient distance away from the road so that if trains are waiting to cross through here, that it doesn't disrupt traffic. And it should just let everything work pretty well there. Okay, I think that is everything I wanted to lay in with rails for this side. And then now we need to figure out this because they are building this. And I have the game paused right now because I don't want them to build too far. Although it looks like they're going to stop here anyway because I've already disconnected it. Okay, good. All right, so what we want to do here is we want to figure out where this needs to be. And I think this is a little bit too close to the road. So I'm going to just dial this whole thing back. And we are going to bring you out a little bit more away from the road. Let's say about like this. And then we're going to cross maybe here instead. And then we're going to go this direction. And then we're eventually at that point going to be meeting up and going like that. All right. And then we have a second side here. I want two sides to this rail. It's going to be a fairly low traffic. So I'm not really super worried about, you know, having like a single tunnel here. It's a fairly low traffic area. But from this intersection, it gets a little bit busier. So I'm going to kind of make two tracks here. And then it goes right in and meets up with that track like that. Okay. So we'll go ahead and mark that in now. And then we can get rid of some of these connection points. Unless they've already started that. It looks like they might have. Or I'm not hooked up. That could be a thing too. No, I think we are. Because it's allowing me to do the waypoint. It's not going like gonk, gonk, gonk. So like sometimes it'll give you that signal. That sound. That usually means that that node is immovable. You can't move that or alter it. But here at least we can make waypoints. So that's okay. Get rid of this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And then all of that is ready to rock and roll for later. Okay. So what we want to do here is we need to make our intersection. And I'm thinking we go about here with it. So let's make the trains kind of come this way, let's say. It's not like a perfect 90-degree angle here, but it should be fine. And we'll go out about like, actually kind of want to curve a little bit after this intersection. I want to get out of there. So I'm kind of in the middle of this and I want to go up near the road. So I'm going to take this rail and bring it this way. There we go. And then I could probably just have this be one rail that goes to the border here. It's pretty low traffic. So I think what we'll do is just give sufficient space for this road. And then we'll have this rail go that way. And then we'll have you basically merge in as one there. Okay, so this is all only one track, and that's going to the border over here. All right, we have our rail. We at least have it marked of where it's going to be, and that's really all we need to do for now in order to start building our small town here. So once we have the store set up, we're going to need things like the fire department and the police and all that stuff, right? And we have our sort of main street, which is going to be right here. It looks like this is probably going to be Main Street. Then we have the sort of a highway-ish thing going on over here. So if this is Main Street, then what we'll do is we'll have this be an asphalt road that goes out this way, and this can all be asphalt going this direction. That gives us our main street that we're going to have. You know, I could actually give this a little more space. Why don't I do that? Let's give it a little bit more space here by putting in a walking path right up next to this. Like that. And then from there, we'll put in the road. So let's turn snapping off. And we're going to want to put this about equidistant from where that road is. I think I like this. That's pretty good. Not quite perfect. I don't know why I care about perfection here, but I do. So we're going to have this be a little bit more perfect here. Just a little bit more perfect. Right about there should do it. That is good enough to me. All right. And then we're going to delete the walking path. This gives us a little space where we can put, like, you know, it's an avenue kind of thing, right? We can put trees through here and stuff. I like it. All right. So let's go ahead and mark that for construction as well. That's our main street. Okay. And then we'll have, you know, intersections and lights and stuff that go around. We'll have our fire department and all the other stuff that we want to have will be based around that. Now, this main street is also how people get to work. So the main street comes out this way, and then it will curve here. Ooh, looks like I made my main street a little... Should have done it more this direction as opposed to this direction, but we'll play it as it lies. It's fine. I didn't line it up exactly the way I originally planned to do it, but it's okay. So we're going to have you bend this direction, all right, around this train track. And, you know, we could maybe get by with putting this avenue a little bit more. We could say right about there and then just have this road go like that. Just give us a little more space for those trees that we're going to put in, right? And then we'll curve you around, and then we can meet up with the... do I F4 this now? I think so. Now I can F4 this and snap them together. All right, so on this side, right, this is our roundabout, and we're going to be meeting up with that roundabout here, and then also around like this. And we could probably adjust this a little bit so that it looks a little cleaner. That's not what I wanted to do, but I guess that's fine. We're going to, so yeah, something more like this would look better, right? Let's do that, and then we come around like so, and then I want to, right there. So now I have my avenue and everything's good. Okay. Perfect. And then on this side, we do the same thing, only this one is going to be kind of merging together sooner, I think. So maybe we just bring it about like this and then about like this. So it kind of eventually meets up with it. And then we connect it to the road here and here. Ooh, I could actually... You know, I could come right off that farm road. That's not bad. Why don't we come off that farm road instead? A little curve. Yeah, I like it. And then we just bring it in like that. That works for me. We have our main street. All right, good. I'm satisfied with it. Let's make sure we get rid of any nodes that we can get rid of. It seems good. And our road construction crews can start getting to work on all that stuff. And then we make our, you know, our junctions and stuff here for the trains later. But this gives us an idea of where Zarnoski's going to be, okay? We'll have fire departments on this side of the track. That way they can respond that way a little bit faster. They can also get into the city very easily. And then police stations are over here, and homes and stuff. People's living spaces will be over here. And remember, we are going to be relying on cars. So there's going to have to be an adequate amount of parking as well. We'll talk more about Zarnoski later. Let's head back over to Steel and see what it's doing. We actually have people working here now. And we have steel. Whoops. Wow. Hey, camera. What you doing? The autosave really screwed me, huh? There it is. You can see it. Confirmed. We are making our own steel. Very nice. Now, are we really getting water, though? Probably not. Missing water. It's because this pipe's not done. So we'll need labor to come out here and finish this stuff. I need more labor to come out here and do this. Yeah, just give me Charlevant's labor to do these things. And it looks like they've also started on the industrial yard mechanical components manufacturing as well. So that's pretty good. But we're making our own steel. That was the big thing that really mattered, right? And then apparently I did asphalt here. Oh, I thought I did gravel here. Whoa, I did not mean to do that. But like, since you've already kind of started it, then okay. I guess. So back in this area right here, we have a road that comes through this. And this road has, there's a reason for this road. This road is where our fire department is going to be. And I can put this, I think, just a little bit off to the side. Right about here. Almost. Getting there. Very close. Any second now. Come on now. There it is. Right there. If I went over enough, I should be able to fit one of these in here too. And be able to fit them in a way that allows me to get the road out too. That's the thing. The road needs to be able to get out too. And I think probably that is not good enough, but we'll see. It just looks like it's too... I mean, I could put it angled like this, but it doesn't look good. I want it to look good in here too. I think I got to pull this back just a little bit more. Bring the fire station back just a little bit more. About here, I think is better. That way, when I drop the heliport in, I can have it be, and I need to make sure I'm not blocking the walkway too. So we should probably lay that in first. This, yeah, see how tight that is? So I need to have this walkway. This is a really important walkway. You'll see why in a bit. Or later on. I need to make sure I don't block that. So let's bring in right here. And if I can get this to line up with that walkway and have the fire department highlight right there. Can I have this be a road? Will you let me do it? Come on, let me do it. Oh. Come on. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, you'll let me do that. That's good enough for me. All right. Now, of course, this walking path here is like just covered in dirt now, but the goal was to leave space for it. So I should be able to redraw it and have it look good now. There we go. And it needs to come from this. So we're going to have you come all the way out, and maybe even going slanted here would be better. I think so. Let's try to slant this over and have it go that way. That works for me. What this is doing is it's giving us a walking path from the train to get into either a walking or either one of these, right? Which I think is what we're going to end up doing. One of these bridges that takes people from this side over to this side. Okay. And that's how we're going to get people into labor on the other side of this area. I need to get people to have a walking path into this area. This road is not permanent. It's not staying here. The other thing we need to do is I need to provide, like, I fire coverage now, and I need to provide also police coverage, right? Because we saw there were crimes here earlier. So police coverage for this area is going to be right here, a small police station. I'm really hoping to fit it in right here. And I'm hoping that you will allow me to do this with a road. I don't think you're going to let me connect a road there. You don't, because of the track signal. That is a thing. Gotta have that track signal, so I'm not allowed to connect there. Okay, second place on that then would be having it be over here as long as they can reach it, which they should be able to, and if they can't, I'll just pave this road, which, to be honest, will probably end up getting paved anyway. But for now, we're gonna have police coverage, I guess, is gonna go here instead. So let's have it be right here, like this. maybe even coming off of this road would be okay. Can you get to the fart? Or can you get to the... See that? They can't get there. They need to be able to get here. So I'm going to have to put another walking path in that lets them do that. Right there. There it is. Okay, they will be able to get there. All right, good. So we'll have you go right about here with it then. We'll come off of this road here. And then the walking path will just need to be connected to the road like that. As long as that's in, you should be able to walk from there to the train stop. There it is. Good. Okay. That takes care of all the essentials that we're going to need, except for, of course, for heat, because you have fire department and you have police. Therefore, you need heat, right? That's pretty obvious. Well, this is a coal storage, and coal storage would be good to have heat right off the coal storage, wouldn't it? This is where the small heating plant can shine, because you don't have a whole lot of stuff to heat. This is where the small heating plant really comes in handy. So the small heating plant is going to be situated right over here. Should be coming in. You can kind of see it's already flashing that way to want to connect, right? It's already trying to connect. So we're going to say the heating plant is going to be located right. Can I flip it? Yeah, like this. I want it to be just like this. Almost. And done. This is where the small heating plant shines, because you only have a couple buildings. So we have the small heating plant that does a little bit, and then we have the small heat exchanger. And as long as that is positioned where it can reach both of these buildings, I will be happy with it. I was kind of hoping you'd go right next to this, but it looks like I am just not able to do that. It's in range there too. Yeah, I mean, I could also put it... It's not highlighting that building. The fire department not needed or what? Either way, the police department does, but I would think the fire department is close enough for that, but I really don't want to risk it not being close enough. You know what? We could probably put it here. This would be close enough because it is... We can remove this walking path, and I should be able to get that in. That's definitely close enough for heat here, right? It's got to be. Although the real question is anything else I'm going to put here... Now that is a question. Is anything else I'm going to put here going to need heat? I guess if so, we'll just bring coal somewhere else. It's fine. I want something that's somewhat simple here. So let's put in the heat exchanger right here, right next to this. It should allow me to do that. It's no longer needed since the walking paths are done. And then now that they have access to this, they should be able to get in. Oh, they don't. They're still going to need me to... Yeah, well, good news is once we make the road, I can then just come off of that. So we'll do that, and then the road can come in off of this. And that'll get them into being able to build this. All right, and then finally the heating pipes. We're just going to take a little small connection directly into there for the heating pipes. Done. And that gives us heat from the same coal supply that we're already generating. We don't need to ship coal in for heat here. All right, good. Coal mines being built, coal ore processing being built. We are already making our own steel, and we're just waiting on this pipe. This pipe is done. We got water coming in. That's 90%. We just need chemicals brought here now. Yes. So chemicals being brought here. For now, I'm going to turn chemicals on here. I got 20% for chemicals here, right? So all I'm going to do for now is we're going to come over to the train distribution office. We're going to find the Mount Char train station. We're going to tell it to unload chemicals too. All right, we're going to do something like that. So it should bring chemicals here, right? Once it does that, I'll just need a truck, a dedicated truck to just pick it up and then come over there, unload, wait till unloaded, right? Same thing we did everywhere else. So why don't we take one of these? Do we not have any covered hulls here? I have just the one. All right, we're going to have to buy a new one. That's fine. In this road depot, we're going to just buy a new one. We're going to go with a covered hull, and we don't need a big one, so we can go fairly inexpensive here. How about 2.7 tons is maybe a little bit light. Let's try 3.3 tons. And we'll make it... it doesn't really matter. We'll make it this color. So when that covered hull comes in here, we're going to end up getting chemicals from here. We'll just pick them up, and we'll bring them over where they need to go. Easy peasy. And then it'll come over here, it'll drop them off, and it'll wait until unloaded. Then this will get good quality water, which will send it to the pump right here, which all needs to be built still. And then eventually all these guys will have good quality water. Okay. Everything's looking good over here, guys. I'm thinking I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Okay. Now, again, we can still make our own steel. As you can see, we're making it already. But you can't do it. Need to get labor here. You can't do it. You can't work these buildings with high efficiency unless you give them the water. So they can make it, but it's really, really poor percentage of production. Like your production is really going to be terrible. And then you are just waiting for signals. I don't have the signals put in for this. Let's get signals in here. We're just going to go like this for now. Here we go. And we'll go like this for now and this for now. And then this isn't built yet. No, not yet. And then you can put in an extra set of signals. I like this idea, actually. Let's put in a set of signals right after this point where they're not done yet. So it's right about here. Put a second set of signals right here. We're going to make them two-way. But this separates the jobs so that they'll finish this. And then I can also go in and combine these two jobs so that this whole thing ends up being one job instead of being divided into 3 jobs. All right, there's that. That's cool. And then we maybe could start getting that track running, although it's a really unimportant track, but we could start doing that too. Look at all the tractors out there doing all these big fields and stuff. All the medium fields are already growing. See that? It's all so fast, man. All of our medium fields, all 30 of them are growing right now. All done, and it's March 15th. So we're starting on big fields. These farms can really handle a lot more fields, and I probably should mark in a few more on this side. So I'll probably do that off camera because it's not really all that interesting to watch me place fields. What else? I think that's it, right? I just wanted to make steel today, and I think I've done a pretty okay job of doing that. And we've reached the point in this video where we've have a long video. So, hey, I'm all right with it, all right? So I'm going to say thanks for watching. I appreciate you. I hope you guys will hit like on the video, subscribe and stuff if you haven't already. And when we come back for the next one, I'm going to let this area finish, at least for the sake of the water connections and stuff. I'm going to let that finish. And then this road here is going to get moved so that it's over here. And it's just going to keep basically getting moved back until I can figure out where all my production and stuff is. So maybe I'll look at that and plan that next video, because I would like to start making electrical components ourselves. And if we can make electrical components, then I can start electrifying the rest of my rails without spending like 9 million rubles to do so. Because electrical components are incredibly expensive, and I really don't want to pay almost 8,000 rubles per ton to electrify my entire place, okay? I don't want to pay that. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.